Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Hey, my name is Keith Jones, and we're going to get started today. We're going to talk about an update to this fix and flip property tour. We are so blessed and fortunate to be able to see the process as it's going through, and now we get to see the finished product. So we are just really stoked about that. You know what? Before we go too far, I want to make sure that first you can hear me, see me. And if you don't mind putting in the chat where you're from, that lets me know that everything's up and running as people starting to come in. So, hey, welcome D out of DC. Hey, we got Atlanta, Georgia showing up. Hey, we got Brooklyn, New York showing up today. All right. So this is really awesome. So as you start to come in, oh, Portland, Oregon. Hey, Seattle, Washington. So we went from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast really quick. So that's really awesome. Thank you for putting in there where you're from. The reason we also like to do that, not just to know where you're coming from, but you get to ask questions in the chat. So that's how we get to hear from you. You get to ask your questions as we kind of go through. Okay. All right. So hold on. I got something keeps popping up. There we go. So congratulations to the folks who are coming in live. You get to ask your questions live and make sure you put it in the chat. Don't wait till the very last minute. We may miss it, but we love to get to your question. And, Scott Buckles, oh man, Scott, thank you for putting this together. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have this community. I think you've been doing this. This is like going on year 7 for you. You had the vision of showing people, highlighting investors who are in action right now. Because some people always think, should I do it? Who's doing it? Well, you've been doing this and showing this, and I'm very appreciative of you of, putting this together to allow us to see people from all over the United States about real estate investing. And so if this is your first time here, if you've never been here before, just put in the chat, like, first of all, where you from, so that way we can know that, hey, we got another place that's actually looking. But if this is your first time here, just put a number 1 as you get ready. So today, what we're going to do here is as you can see on your screen, we're going to talk about a fix and flip property tour. But she's going to give us an update. So we're going to show like the before, and we're going to show where it is today. And she's going to walk through. But I'm not going to do too much talking here as we see more people are starting to come in, put it in the chat where they're from. Inez, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight you real quick. If you don't mind coming on out, we would love to know who you are. So, we met, we know each other, but there's some people here for the very first time, and they are just so curious about this thing called real estate investing. But they want to know like who you are. And if you don't mind kind of telling us just a little bit your why you decided to do this journey called real estate investing, and why this community. Yep, you're still muted. And there you go.
Hi everyone. Yes, my name is Ines, originally from Mexico, living in Salt Lake City, doing business in Salt Lake City, of course. Yeah, I'm a mother. I used to be a preschool teacher, making like about 20K a year. And so with this type of investing in this type of business, you can make more than that in one single transaction. You will see later on this deal today. So, and I have the free time to do. It's not like it just happened like next day, your first transaction next year. So it takes time as a normal business, but yes. And what else? What I forgot? I'm a mother and a wife, and a business owner and an entrepreneur, and I love to be part of this community. I love to educate myself because everything you invest in yourself, it just gives you money, right? It just, yeah. And I joined this community in 2018, and this is my transaction number 27, I think. Yes. Did I forget something?
No, you went straight to it just like you do as a real estate investor. And that's really awesome because there's folks like from Canada here's watching, so that's really, appreciate you kind of telling us a little bit like you like mother, entrepreneur, I mean, your background, where you came from, and now you're doing real estate investing because we have Scott has a person who came out of Spain. We got Kim out of Atlanta. This is their first time to really understand, what's going on. And we got Chad out of Ohio. And so where are you right now in the sense of this property? We saw that is in Utah, but are you originally from Utah?
For me,
Yeah.
originally from Mexico.
So I love to ask a little bit deeper about the why. Why did you choose real estate investing? Because a lot of people think about it, but why did you really? I mean, because there's so many other things that people can do that but why did you choose real estate?
What do I choose real estate? Actually, when I went to one invitation to see the community, what are they doing, what can I learn, what can I do? Before I have seen like I think never somebody asked me that before, or maybe I didn't. I don't remember. Maybe you did before, but I used to. My sister asked me to join this multi-level marketing thing, selling coffee, and another friend asked me to join Amway and Herbalife and you name it. So, but I didn't. Just only join one of her number things that she's doing. Like she joins a lot of multi-level marketing, and so I only joined her with one company that is not exist anymore. I think was Rico Life company selling coffee and energy drinks. So I saw that it's like you if you invest in yourself, mostly investing in your brain and yourself, you can do more things. So and I was just looking like this is good, but this is not. I didn't. I guess I didn't believe in it, or I didn't believe in myself back in that time. I didn't believe in that business in particular. When it's time to come to see these real estate business presentation, my mind it was blowing, it was open, it was just like I was ready to grab it, I was ready to do something. Like I saw the opportunity because I already saw these things, I already saw like when I saw this thing, like if this I was thinking like if this is true, like only one house, only paying my house is so worth it. Who wouldn't want to pay 35 years mortgage in 5, 10, 15 years instead of just paying the whole 30 years? I don't know if you guys out there in your right mind wants to do 30 years and don't save these tons of money, right? So I see the opportunity. I saw the opportunity that I can just, back in that time, I can pay my house with a strategy that this community will show you to pay any type of debt in a record time, like a really fast. They call it velocity banking. So that thing just blew my mind. I was like, if this is true, like I can pay my house in 5 years, and guess what? Everybody in this meeting right now, it didn't took me 5 years to pay this house. It's a rental that I have in the area, like about 8 minutes to 10 minutes from this property right now. It took me 1 year to use the strategy to study, use the strategy, the community I learned. So and then I pay lots of things, lots of debt that I have, and I just like it was like oh my goodness, this is for like a magic, but it's not a magic. It's numbers and knowledge. Like about you think like I thought like I couldn't describe it any other thing, just like a magic, but there's no magic, just knowledge, just knowledge and numbers and math, and learn how to use whatever is already out there to your advantage now with that knowledge that you acquire. So why real estate? So that's why, because I learned how to pay a house, 25 years house by that time that I still have in 5 years, but I did it in one. So this is I don't know. Did you understand why real estate? It's not brain like it's like why people say there's no brainer, right? There's no brainer for me. Like yeah,
No, no, I get it because it's interesting because that's the same thing I was looking at. By default, when you buy a house, people say, 30 years or even some people say 15, right? But then you know your payment's gonna go a lot higher than 30. That's why this by default is 30. But the that means for 30 years I'm gonna be paying for this house. But then just like you, I found out that I can pay it off, 5 to 7 years. I was like, wait a minute,
And
that's a lot. I mean, I can get all that money back that I'm not paying out.
exactly. And also, you can buy properties without your money, without with your like without your taxes. I mean, like without you showing how much you're making a year. So it's just there's a way to buy more houses, and I do not limit it like you're making lots of money. Probably like I saw most of my husband friends who have a career, like a different type of career. Most of them they had three houses and they stuck in three houses. Right now, I think we're refinancing the number eight house. So I don't have a career. I just was a preschool teacher. So not a big career, didn't spend years and years in university doing something. No, like my husband's friends and brothers and other friends that I know of them in his circle, they all of them went to college and have a career, 4 years career. They're making about 10K a year, not 10K, 100K a year. And so the maximum house that they can afford to buy right now is three. All of them has three property, but I have eight. So how do you like that? How do you like that? I like it. I don't know if you guys like if you ever want to do something, if you ever want to, even if you don't have a, if you own a property right now, would you like to learn how to buy your first property in a huge discount? And so, like, not going to the traditional, like an agent told you, oh, this is what we do. This is the paper that you need right now to get all those steps before to buy a house. With this community, you're gonna learn other ways to buy a property. Or if you already have a property, to acquire now rental properties. Whatever you want to do, this is the right place.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. This is definitely the right place. Matter of fact, for the folks who are here, if this is your first time here or if you've been here before, just go ahead and tell the person thank you to inviting you to today's, because you're going to hear some gems today. We're going to walk through, the before, the after. We're going to get your questions in there. And you're right, JR. It's not magic, right? And so as we kind of go through this, go ahead and put down your why. Why do you want to do real estate investing? And as we kind of go through this property, just to see if some things connect, right? Because one of the things that was said in just in that very first part, a lot of us are told about real estate investing, right? But then there's a difference between told and taught. And so when you branch from being told to the taught part, this is where we're kind of at right now. That's why we like doing these property tours, because you're going to see from being told to a person who took actions and they were taught. And she's going to share a glimpse of one of her properties here today. So um, I got some slides here, so I'm gonna move out the way so that way we can kind of walk through your before and you can tell us, what was going on at that time. So let me do this right here. All right. So we're gonna go through your slides, all you now. Can you see your first slide?
Yes,
So
that's
this,
just the front. Yes.
so how did you find this property? Because some people may not remember. How did you find this property?
It's just an MLS. I constantly look at MLS, or sometimes I didn't even. And one time I went to look at the MLS. I saw this property, and just since when you when you know what you're looking for, when you see something, you just like immediately recognize it. When you just, it takes like, as I say, it takes practice, it takes time, but you eventually will get there. So when you see a property, you're gonna recognize it immediately. So I saw it in MLS and I called my agent to ask him, like, I can just get an appointment for this property. And he told me yes. And then he came back and said, hey, we cannot see it until you have to put a blind offer. And then if they accept your offer, then you can see it. But if they don't accept your offer, you're never going to see it. So we sent our offer and we won the house. And that's what we're here today.
Oh,
We
wow.
won the offer, the house, whatever. Yeah, but we couldn't see it. But they told us you couldn't see it because, as you see, it was a fire damaged property, and the city condemned the house. Nobody could go in because for safety, security. But it wasn't that bad. But yeah, anyways, that's why we couldn't go in. But I live 5 minutes from here, so I came. Even though they say can I go, I didn't go in, of course, but I came to see the area and walk around the property because you can do that. You can come and walk outside, but you're not allowed to go inside.
Right. And so so one of the things that you was able to do because you was close, but you did your market analysis because you already know the area. And so you couldn't go inside the
Exactly.
property, but you was able to kind of walk around. And I guess this is the next picture you see. I guess that's where the fire was.
Exactly. That's where the fire started, and that's where I am standing right now. This is the part where I'm gonna turn my camera. I guess it's gonna be easier to show you guys. What is it right here? Okay, this is where the fire started. Now it's all different right now. So this is the part the fire started, and it was different. It was kind of like they covered it has windows, so underneath, so nothing like it was before. So as you can see, totally different. Right now, this is exactly what you see in the picture right now, the burn part and now the new part.
Wow. So hold on for a second. I'm gonna put both of them side by side so people can see the difference between that's wow. That's that's what Valerie said. Wow. I agree with you. Look at that.
Yeah, that's the part right now, the where the fire starts. So nothing compares, just like yeah, this is the magic you can do if you haven't joined the community yet.
Awesome. So that's another. So I'm just showing another picture that was a bit closer. Looks like maybe the fire started underneath.
Yes. And this house was condemned by the city because there were too many people living here and they trashed the property really bad. And the owner was forced to sell the property. He didn't have any other option. He has only one option to sell. And he had a timeline frame with a it doesn't the city didn't even deal with him no more. So it was a lawyer the city hired to make him out to sell and to move. And so yeah, and so when I found out everything too, I talked to the lawyer and make arrangement with him what he wants me to do because yeah, that's where you have to have knowledge. You have to educate yourself to do those things. When my hard money lender found out like hey, there's something with the city that's and he has a lawyer. What are you gonna do about it? And I told him, don't worry, I already took care of it. So everything is under control. Just like, okay. He's like, okay, you know what you're doing. Like, yeah, let's move on with the money.
So this is not your first rodeo show. That's what you're kind of showing us. So I'm gonna go then show the next picture. So the next picture, if you can see, we're showing inside because you wasn't able to see inside, but I'm gonna let people see the picture on that's the before, and now you
Yeah, and
kind
this
of
is
show now you're showing us the
yeah, yeah, and that thing is the kitchen right here. As you can see, the window you see that is the window right there. So the window stay in the same place. See the window and see the
yes.
bump right there holding right there. That's what you see right now. Yep.
Look at that transformation. Wow. So that's another picture of the kitchen. So were there's
um,
any structural you just were there any structural that you did or is more like fixing and
Yeah, this one. As you can see, do you see that view right there?
yes.
So this was there was a wall right there. The wall just start from there, and there was the entrance for the kitchen and the room. This is they turned it into a room, but originally it was a living room because it was a reel right there. So we saved the reel, so we didn't we save it. So we just repainted. So it was a wall behind this reel. They didn't even took they even took the reel. They asked a wall or they add a wall right here to make this one a room. So it was so crowded, so trash. So it stinks so horrible. It was in a really bad condition. So this is was originally was a living room, but they turned it into a room. There was mattress right here. So I don't know how many mattresses we took out. There was mattress right here, like it was a room in the kitchen, as you can saw. So and it was a wall right here, a wall right here. This is was not a bearing wall because they added at one point, but this one is the bearing wall.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And Kim, we're going to talk about the numbers a little bit towards the end. So I got you on that when it comes to the rehab cost. So so did you, when you, they had multiple mattresses in there. They had multiple people living there, which is why the city, told them they pretty much had to sell it because they were, I guess, not only because of the fire, but the city didn't like what was happening there. So the next picture we have here, I'm not sure. I think maybe that's down in the basement. Well, we can hold that one. Is that one in the basement, or we can wait to go down there?
Yeah, this is the, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the basement.
Okay,
Yeah, this is
let's get past this one.
downstairs.
So this is one of the bedrooms. So I'm sorry
Yeah, this
to
is
make
one
this
of the
quick.
bedrooms. So here are both bedrooms right here. This is the first bedroom. There's three bedroom upstairs, second bedroom. The walls was so ugly, like I don't know, the window has so many stick on the windows, and this is the third bedroom. This is the master bedroom. The bathroom it wasn't exist before. It was only a toilet and a pedestal, a sink, and we are a full bathroom now. So this is what you have now. So before it wasn't like this. So it
Oh,
was
okay.
only the toilet and the sink. Now we are the shower right here. So now it has a full master bathroom.
Right. You definitely
Um,
need some value. So now, was it originally three bedrooms on this floor?
yes, it was original was three bedroom upstairs. And downstairs was two bedrooms. So yeah, and this is the sharing bathroom, I guess.
Wow. So hold on just for a second. I'm gonna show here's I guess that's the bathroom that you just
Oh
in.
yes, that's the one. Yes, that's the one. Yes, yeah. Oh, I didn't know that you had a picture for that. Yes, yeah, that is this one.
Just
This is
looking at
it
yeah.
was really weird. It was really weird. The toilet, as you can see, the toilet was right here. Like the toilet
Yes.
was like in the middle. Like I was telling him, who designed those houses before? Like, what would you want a toilet right there? You open and just like a toilet was in the middle. Shower was still right there. Toilet was in the middle, and the sink was right here. And I like, let's make this thing like. Kind of function, and even you cannot open this door fully because you hit the your knees with a door like a
Yeah,
if the
we actually
key
looking at
even
the
even
we're looking at the picture. You're like, oh my gosh, the comparison.
yeah, if I'm sitting, I told them if I'm sitting right here and a key open or nobody, if I don't lock the door, are they gonna hit my knees when they open the door without knowing like I'm sitting in the toilet? They hit my knees like
Wow.
I know like let's do something.
That's a great
So
shift.
yeah.
So a lot of people may want to know is as when you walk through a property, do you have the a general contractor help you to kind of walk through, or those are some of the things that you kind of walk through and you tell the general contractor, or do you do collaboration?
Now, at the beginning, I had a general contractor. I have friends. I have whoever you guys know who does construction or like, and this is a very, 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 very important thing. A lot of very. To join the community because we have house tours like in your local community, wherever you are. We have physical house tour like this one, and then you have ideas what to do. You got lots of ideas from the community, and then you're gonna find friends also in the community who does everything, who renovate bathrooms, who does tile, who does floor, who does window, who paint, who like you find those guys in the community if you know somebody. So that's not an excuse like, oh, I'm not gonna do this business this because I don't know anybody who can do it. Or I don't do it. I don't do it and I still don't do it. Sometimes I help my husband to do a few things or like I'll come and do something like I have a property in Tuela that was NT doors, and I told them I wanted to do those NT doors. Like I want to do it myself. I was like eager to do those NT doors, like to refurbish them and give it a different look. And that's what I did. But because I wanted to do it, it's just like, but not because I have to do it. But yes, you're gonna find those folks in the community yes, at the beginning, I bring somebody who helped me. Now I'm the one, and I know my numbers. I know how much it's gonna be to renovate my kitchen, the bathrooms, everything. I'm the one who just put my number together, and because I exactly know and I know what to do, I'll come to the kitchen and say if I'm washing dishes, where I want my fridge, where I want my this. Like a some kitchen, they're not function as the way they built them long time ago and this is who built these things. So I always imagine myself in the kitchen cooking doing stuff and like okay this is not make sense, who did this one, okay I want it like this. So I tell my general contractor, I tell my people how do I want the things to be done.
Wow. So I found that picture that you was talking about the mattresses before you head downstairs. If you don't mind kind of panning to the left,
Yes,
there it is.
that's the one
So
right here.
yeah,
That you see that the big window right there. That's
yeah.
that. That's and we remove this is new window by the same exactly the same side. But yeah, that's that's this one. See, it's so
Awesome.
ugly.
So I can
Yeah.
definitely tell that, you benefited from the education in the community because of the way that you took action and you learned. Matter of fact, can we see you just real quick? Because I think we got a couple more questions that we want to ask before you head downstairs. Um,
Yes.
as you started to learn, what was that process for you? Like, because a lot of people kind of like fold their arms, like, you just trying to make me buy education, or you trying to make me. What was it for you when you actually took the step to say, you know what, I want to do this for me? What was your learning process? Was it like um, beneficial for, to be able to ask questions in the community, to be able to have conversation with folks, talk to the instructors? How was it for you?
For me, it's I always like to study. I guess this is when since I told my daughter the last time I was talking to my little girl, 9 years old daughter. She asked me, what do you like to do, mommy? What is your passion in life?" I'm like, I always wanted to be a teacher. I told her like I always wanted to be a teacher, and what I want to be a teacher, like when I was in my Mexico in my hometown, because I didn't know better. Like the most educated people that I know, it was teachers. So that's what I wanted to be a teacher because we didn't have much opportunity to get educated. So especially in my town, like I went, sorry, I just have Texas in Texas. Uh, people older people believe, and one of them it was my dad. Like the women just it's good to get married and to serve your husband. That's what you need to learn. So I didn't want that for myself. I always wanted to study to be a teacher because that was the highest thing that I can see. So my passion was educate myself. When I saw this community that I need to that I it's learning, it's education. Like yes, this is what I want to do. That's what I just I was a preschool teacher, and I felt like I was just accomplished by that time when I found this community, like learning and networking with people who know more than you do, or like who knows or who already walked the path. So just hang out with them, just and pick up their brain, like the people say, pick up the brain. So study your classes because this is very important to get knowledge, right? Because you're gonna find problems in real estate with the city, with other stuff, with your neighbors, with you. We don't know. So if you study, you get to be more resourceful. That's what I can say. More resourceful. Like if I in the middle of my deal, I didn't calculate how much I'm gonna spend and I went over budget. How can I do to finish the project if I'm short of budget, or if the market turned down and I didn't expect that? What can I do? That's when it comes to education. Educate yourself, please. Don't do this one watching a couple of videos on YouTube, on TikTok, on like, oh, I already know what I'm doing because that's not everything. There's lots of things involved. And just connect to the community. They will give you idea. It's just stuck. So maybe somebody have the same situation. Maybe somebody went through what you went through right now, or like in that time when you had this situation. They will help you. They will give you ideas. That's the community for.
I agree with you. Yeah, that's really awesome, and thank you for kind of sharing that because everybody learns differently. Like I learn differently. I like to ask questions. Just like a lot of people may have questions, but they don't want to ask, and so I like to ask questions because that kind of helps me because I know what I don't know, but I know that I need help, and from just interacting with people because people when I was growing up, they would say, "Hey, don't hang around, so and so." And it's like, well, why? And it's because they're a bad influence. But if you always remember that, if that's so true, if you hang around bad people, it become bad. What if you hang around good people? And so that's why I like about this. You want to hang around with people who's actually doing things. So as you kind of walk down the steps, can you are you going to walk out the front door? Or are you going to go all the way downstairs?
Yeah, I can show you the front door. So it was the first picture that you show, you see stuff. I'm gonna turn my camera so you can see the the picture, the first picture that you show, like where you see the house.
That's awesome. Now, where is this? How can you also pan like the neighborhood? Because some people are really are curious about like where it's located. What's
West
unique
Valley,
about this location?
West Valley City. I'm 50 minutes from the airport, and I have a high school right there on the corner. So this is in West Valley City.
Awesome.
So this is downstairs.
And then as you just kind of walk down those steps, these are the people who's kind of curious about those steps. If you can pan to your steps again, yeah, look at that, the before and after. That's awesome.
And you have a picture of the top, right? This is where the top was. This is you see the top like in the middle of the room. This is was a room before. This is was a room with a top, like a jacuzzi slash tub thing, and no walls, nothing. Just it was like it was really weird. So now it's a bathroom. It's a full bathroom now.
Nice.
And this is the room. This room wasn't access. This is just like I don't know what was it. Maybe a living room slash kitchen. Like you can see in the picture, like you show, like it was a fridge right here and a stove in the other room. So we divided. So we make the wall and we add a closet right here, and then we add this one. So to make two rooms. Now it's two rooms, functional two rooms. Like before it was just like. Just one room, really weird, like just open thing. The whole thing, it was just open. Yes, it was weird. Now you have two rooms down here and the whole side bathroom. And you go right here. This is just a storage unit, and this is the laundry. I
Yeah,
think you
so
saw the picture too from
yeah,
the
so I think
laundry.
I got it up so that way they can see where what it used to be. So they can see where the wash machine and dryer and the water heater compare what you did now. Awesome.
Yeah, and this room it was exist before. So this room it was just tons of garbage also in here, but this was already exist. So this room just didn't do nothing just other than sheetrocking, matting, taping, painting, carpet. And there's a picture you see like a dark with something in with a playbook right there that it was a window before. So
Oh,
so this is could be a mother-in-law thing if they want. So there will always I always think like what is hard for people to do when they buy a property and they want to rent one room or rent the basement. It's a small family, they can room the basement. What is the hardest thing for people to do is planning. And I was like, okay, let's create a planning for them. It's easier for them to find a stove and a fridge. You can
yeah.
just bring a stove and a fridge, but you have already the plumbing right there. So yeah.
You know what? That's a really good idea. Matter of fact, I think this is the picture that you was talking about.
the
Down there,
the
because you said there was a window there. Yeah.
yeah, it was a window right here. Oh, let me see. What is the pic? Yes, that's the one. Yes, this is yeah. So this is there was a window right there. And so we covered, yeah, this is the place. Yes,
Well, I'll tell you right now,
that's the
you're
one.
already providing value because Anna's saying, her layout of one of her places looks the same, and now you gave her some great ideas. So just by people showing up and you actually sharing, you're already providing value back to the community. So thank you for that. But you also gave me a really good idea just from what you just talked about. So I want to pause just for a second. You talked about, people like to have, events or they want to rent out another place. What if you go ahead and put like the plumbing there and they can get their own, refrigerator or stove, but you set everything up for that capability for that to be there, and that's really, really awesome.
Exactly. You give them the idea. If you have a big family, probably you won't need a stove. If you have a small family, just barely start, and you buy your property and you want to have yourself rent a room or rent the whole downstairs, like you could have three downstairs, three room downstairs and a full bathroom and a kitchen, so you don't have to share kitchen with anybody. So and they have the independent entrance right here.
Oh,
This is the
wow.
garage. So and there's another entrance on the other side too. So it has two different entrances here. So yes, this is garage right there, garage, and this is the other side. And you have another parking, another parking, car parking this side of the property too. It has the east and the north side parking.
Oh, wow.
See,
You have a
yeah,
lot of
another parking
parking.
right here. Yes, they have a lot of parking. So yes. See, that's where like you can like totally rent downstairs and or you have a big family, everybody can park this side and the other kids the other side, whatever you want to do. But you give them that idea that they can have a sweet mother-in-law, I guess.
That is that
Yes.
that is awesome. Looks like you changed out the windows, new HVAC system.
Oh yes, everything is new. HVAC new. Most of the windows are new. Yes, pretty much like everything is new.
So, like, how long did some people are already thinking like, you can sit out there where you are, have a cup of coffee or whatever the case may
Yes,
be, just kind of, like a little small gathering place outside.
yes. I love this part of the property. Yes, you can put tables right here, outdoor tables and the couches and have a cup of coffee every morning right here. So it's very nice.
Also, well, thank you for walking through the property. This is definitely, uh, as people say, a different transformation when it comes to that. So, yeah, somebody said, "Hey, this property looks like it's, like HGTV." You kind of walk through. So the question that came in is, as if you don't mind flipping around so we can see you, is there was a question that came that's like, what were some of the challenges that you have with this property?
The challenge that I have this property request city to approve my permits. Other than that, not much. It was like just the city took forever to prove my permits and asking for every single detail, stupid details. I don't want this letter on just like I think my I don't remember. I think it was my instructor engineer put maybe in his structure things, and the city was like, I don't like the maybe thing. So can you guys remove that word in there? And like, are you serious? Like, yeah, I called the structural engineer like, can you remove maybe there and just so yes, we need these things. So don't put maybe there, like because the city doesn't like it.
Oh, that's interesting that that as you was working through, first of all, the city made somebody, pretty much sell the house. You was able to purchase the house. You drove by, but you really couldn't see the extent of what was actually happening inside. But you already had a team of people to be able to walk in and kind of take care of the property. So you built the team over time. And that's one of the things, I guess, as you was talking about, the kind of difference between um, what we do is how you learn, but you implement. But at the same time, those challenges in between, you was able to solve them as you went through the process.
Yes.
And so I was looking at the chat to see if there was any more question came up, but a lot of people are giving you like congratulations, thank you for sharing. They really loved it. A lot of work that
Thank
they
you,
can
everyone.
see. They can see the results right from the before and after. Because a lot of people, to be honest with you, will probably walked away from that. It's like, you know what, that's way too much. Um, and so one of the things I like about the community is helping people get past that mindset. Because if we just ran numbers, which people are so eager to see, which we'll show here in a second, they think that that's the answer to everything. That's part of it, but the other part is how you was able to navigate through this process and not quit, so you can get to the results that you're looking for. And it's
Oh
really,
yeah, never quit, please.
yeah,
Never quit.
yeah. And I want to say thank you because you actually showed us, you walked through this property from different stages and you shared it. And it's really awesome to be able to see what we call, the final product. So we appreciate that. So do you want to go ahead and jump into the numbers real quick? I'm gonna show the numbers. So let me get out the way.
Yes.
All right. And so let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see. So walk us through.
Okay, yes, we purchased this property for 317 and the total rehab is 90 and the money cost is over 28 right now because we're hitting month 9 next month. We're in the month 8, I think, right now. Yeah, it's gonna be a little over the 28 and the whole thing cost was still in the same one. Realtor fee is still same. And realtor fees, we pay less than what normally people pay because the connection we have in the community, because we've been doing it for a long time. Just with to my agents who list my property, I pay them flat fees. So it's not with everybody. So I have connection, I make friends. And it's not like even though you live in Utah and you want your agent to give you a flat fee, it's not like that. It's just like to build this relationship with your agents. And yeah, we're listing this property right now. It's still on the market. It's listed on the market right now for 530. And so our net profit is gonna be around 60. Let's say take five the 7K from the extra money we pay for the hard money lender, so the money cost. So we just let's just start with right now. We're on the 60K.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I just want to say, first of all, thank you for just, you know, sharing all of that with us because um, in 8 months, USA, you showing like, a net profit of on around 60, 67 thousand. That's really awesome. But this ain't like the only property that you actually working on, but you actually sharing this one with us. And so you know, people are probably thinking, well, maybe that's not a lot, but if you kind of doing two or three, that kind of adds up to what some people make in a whole year. And actually, that 67 is what some people probably make in 1 year, and you're able to do it in like eight months. So that is really awesome. So again, people are saying, "Hey, great fix and flip." They truly, inspired. Thank you for sharing, insight information. Congratulations. Again, thank you for providing back. And so as we get ready to let you go, because you got other projects that you want to work on, um, we always like to get towards the end. As you was walking through and you was revisiting this property, and you was like, I want to share with somebody, if they're sitting on the fence, what will you say to them to like, get off the fence and actually go ahead and contact the person who invited them or, really get into this thing called real estate investing with the community?
Yeah, if you still haven't decided and you still, as he said, you're still on the fence, just come and get up from there and come join us. I was talking to somebody who came to see this community last week. As I say, like he was like, yeah, but I always wanted to do this one, but since 30 years ago, I always want to see it, but I didn't have anybody to show me how to do it. So this is now you don't have that excuse. If you just waiting right there being an spectator, just stop being a spectator and come and do it because you won't have that excuse anymore that nobody invited you to this to do this or to and for money wise, don't worry about it because the money will come and just you need to have that desire to do something different. If you already have it, you're here in this meeting today because there's no coincidence. So you meant to be it's meant to be here today. So you took your time to be in this meeting today. Just join the community. Just call the people, the person who invited you to this meeting today and ask him or her, how can you join the community? We're gonna help you to get help. That's what the community is for. So and let's do history together. So if you're already part of the community and you haven't done anything, what are you waiting for? You have everything. You have all the tools right there, and you haven't done anything. Just watching and watching. Stop watching and put some action. And what
Yes.
else? So
No,
yeah.
no, you're right. You're like, all right, coach. All right, I'm in, coach. I'm in. And so I really do appreciate that because what we say is your vision has to be bigger than your mood swing. And a lot of time our mood swing gets in the way and we forget about the vision. like you were saying, somebody was looking at it for, over 20 something plus years. So that's because of Mood Swing. Your vision has to be bigger. And we can definitely see you have big visions. And I know you're going to continue to do more. And we appreciate you allow us to come along with your journey. And for everybody else, Scott Buckles, thank you for putting this together. For everybody, hey, have an awesome Saturday. We're going to see you next Saturday. If you also want to do a deal or show your deal and you're part of the community, just reach out. And Inez is going to close us out here with a couple of words. Go ahead. Yep. Go ahead, Inez.
I just want to say really something really quick. Like most of the people, when they see this presentation, they say, I don't have money. Let me tell you, I didn't have $1,000 when I started in this community. I didn't have $1,000. I didn't have even 500 to start. So, and see me here today. We're owning like a property rental with in my main property and flipping and doing all those things. So the money, don't let the money to be your excuse.
I totally agree. And thank you. And we will close with that. Everybody, we see you next Saturday. Again, awesome, awesome property tour. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And everybody have a great day.
Thank you, guys.